as always, good and Jew. Welcome to the Applebee's. Pouring gasoline on a fire. Yeah, let's talk about that. In this video, I want to talk to you about Maxine Waters and really look at it from maybe a little bit of a bigger picture about what's going on in America today. And I've got a question for the DC Elephants as well. And I want to hear your opinion. A lot going on. Can't wait to hear what y'all have to say. Buckle up, here we go. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by Gray Man Tactical. Last week, I showed you my new RMP system, and it is awesome. Rock solid construction, and it mounts perfectly into your vehicle. And my favorite is the cover, so you can be totally discreet. Organize all your emergency gear today. I'm going to put a link right down below so you can start rigging out your vehicle over at graymantactical.com. To each of y'all, thank you for every thumbs up. I appreciate that. I mentioned over the weekend, if you don't mind double checking your subscription, a lot of y'all did. On Friday, YouTube did that whole funky numbers thing. So thank you for double checking that. Appreciate each of you people. Also, shout out to the guy who did, I forget his name, but did an Instagram video, and he did the Kujuju, except he said Kujuju, Kujuju. Here's a little Roscoe P. Coltrane, maybe we'll call it a tutorial. Hit that coo at the beginning a little hard. Kujuju. This matters, y'all. All right, let's talk about Maxine Waters, somebody who doesn't matter all that much, but it's unfortunate she has so much influence. She headed up to Minnesota. Minnesota right now is burning, and of course she left her district and went up there to fan the flames. I opened with the words pouring gasoline on a fire. It's precisely what she did. Keep in mind that Maxine Waters is an opportunist. I think in many ways, in my opinion, is a criminal. Does not even live in her own district, and yet flies to somebody else's district to fan the flames of divisiveness and all sorts of violence. And I think that's worth noting. I think it's worth doing this video. I think it's worth thinking about and keeping it on our radar. So I want you to be aware of it, but I do have some questions. So she headed up to an anti-police protest in Minnesota. Now remember, Minnesota is burning in many ways, and not all of it, but there are places. And the protests are hot and heavy right now, not being covered real heavily by the national media, neither there or over in Portland. Both are burning right now, but the T-Man's not in office, so why cover that? And so you have this woman fly out there, an 82-year-old congresswoman, flies out and literally starts fanning the flames of divisiveness at an anti-police protest. Now remember, last year Minnesota cut their police, Minneapolis cut their police budget, and now they're having to backtrack on that because of why? Flames in the streets. Now she heads to this anti-police rally, and then her words were, and if you haven't seen the entire interview, you can check it out. She says to people to stay on the street. She also does bullying towards the jurors in that entire case, and then also says that we've got to be even more confrontational. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with anyone that goes to an anti-popo rally surrounded by her own private protection. I'll put a picture up right here. This isn't from that rally. That picture is just a typical one. You can find anytime that she speaks, she is surrounded by a detail of armed guards, yet she goes out and wants to create trouble for other people. I think it's a problem. I have a problem with that, a big problem with that. And it goes hand in hand with the idea that anybody that's trying to produce anti-gun legislation has 24-hour-a-day armed security, and for the most part live in gated and neighborhoods that do have full-time security as well. So only folks that stand up and talk like that are surrounded by the Secret Service. So again, I do have a problem with that. So why do they do this? I wrote down the words here on my notes. It's good for business. It's good for her business in the same way that all those guys, and I won't go through their names like Sharpton, they go, anytime there's a situation, they run there, straight there. It's good for business. Keeps them in front of the cameras, keeps the money coming in, and keeps their influence high, and it's good for their business. Again, I have a problem with it. Divisiveness is their business. I saw a really good, Ramirez had a really good political cartoon that came out, I think today or yesterday, and I'll put it up here for you. Divide people by gender, divide people by race, divide people by sexuality, divide people by class, divide people by age, divide people by geography. We're all Americans. You are so divisive. And I think that's well said. Like, I know it's meant for poking the bear, a little bit of satirical comedy, a little bit of political comedy. I think it's healthy to have that. It's a lot of the ways what Spicy Friday does in its own way is just using humor to make points and to open up our minds a little bit to think about this. And I think that's really well said by Ramirez where we're at today. So you got Maxine Waters flying out of her own district to stir up trouble. Now, my question is this: where are the Republicans? The left went nuts following January 6th, making up crap about the T-Man and what he stirred up, what he actually didn't. If you look at the entire tape, he didn't stir up anything. So much so that, rest in peace, Rush, he even said at one point, they've got nothing on the T-Man in that one area, because if they did, CNN will be having his words on a loop 24/7 for a month straight, but they had nothing to say. They went after him for allegedly inciting something, yet she goes there and very much is stirring up. I mean, I don't know the actual laws, if that would be a federal case or a state case with inciting violence, inciting riots, and stirring that crap up, but it's a big deal. Where are the Republicans? Where are the elephants? Who's chasing this? Is anybody going to push back on it at all? I've got a problem with a member of Congress doing this. I've said that 4 times, but I do have a problem with it. So where are they? There was an article by Ken Crow that came out yesterday that said that Waters needs to be prosecuted. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Play one on the internet sometimes. But again, for me, 5th time, it's not good, y'all. This is not good. So I want it to be on your radar. 2, I wanted to ask myself why. Why do they do this? I came up with it's good for business, but I wanted to ask y'all what your opinion is. Why do they do this? There's a whole bunch of them that do it. My question is why. And number 3, my other question is who's going to push back on this? We need to be in the know because the national media is not covering jack crap in all of this. My right to stay connected and to know what's going on and to think for myself. Yep, from my cold, dead hands. Bye.